back, my peeps. So this week, it's our 1 year special since we started building ROAMR, as well as it's Christmas time during a pandemic. So seeing it's such a weird year this year, I've decided I'm gonna put my Christmas tree out here with ROAMR. At least I could say it's an outdoor gathering, because right now we're in full lockdown in my territory, which means the authorities have actually made it illegal for me to go see my family during Christmas morning. What? Oh yeah. So if worst comes to worst, at least me, Winston, and ROAMR can all hang out together for Christmas. Right? Right?
Christmas time? Is it Christmas time? Yeah, is it Christmas time in the city? Yeah, right? Yeah.
And I have an excuse to wear our Christmas hat and our Christmas beard, so you guys don't have to stare at me in this state, because we can't even get a freaking haircut right now. So I've decided I'm not gonna shave either. And we'll just sit out here, hoping that old Saint Nick can still make it, seeing he'd be considered high risk with his age and his overweightness. Pretty dangerous for him to be coming out here right now. But I'm still gonna hang Winston's stocking and my stocking in hopes that the old bugger makes it. And while we wait for him to arrive, although I'd love to take you guys out into the middle of the forest with our dirt bike and go for a little rip, dressed as Santa Claus. As of this moment right now, we're exactly 1 year into our van build, and we're still not anywhere close to done. So, ain't nobody got time for that. So today, I feel it's pretty fitting for us to do a little year in review as to where we started this time a year ago to where we are now. And we'll discuss a few of the projects that we're working on and show you where the struggles are coming from as to why I don't have a finished product this exact week. And I've got to say, I have a ton of things to be appreciative of this year, even though we got hit by a pandemic, which is just absurd to even think that this is real life. But this time last year, we had exactly 100 subscribers. And now, we're almost at 2,000, my friends. Like, what? Never would have saw that coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody who subscribed. And it brings me back to that old saying of this time next year, you're going to be wishing you started this a year ago. Couldn't be more true than what we're talking about right now. And I thank God we did, because if we were just starting today, the amount of delays that are coming for parts and stuff like this to build a van that I'm hearing about on some of the websites I'm on is absolutely ridiculous. And I gotta say, the time went super fast on us, because it's hard to think that just exactly a year ago we were just starting to paint the whole inside of this van with our lizard skin. We were just starting to cut all the holes in the side of the van and put windows in, as well as climbing our crickety old ladders on gravel, trying to climb between this tent and the roof of the van to put all of our roof vents in, our solar panels on, awning, security lights, security cameras. What? When it was minus freaking 30 outside. And then as luck would have it, it just started warming up as we started moving to the inside of the van. So this is where we started putting all our insulation in, our walls up, our floors in, and we documented all this every single step of the way to share with all of you guys. And I'm sure glad we had this project going on throughout all this, or else I'd probably be going a little bit crazy. But I'm telling you, time frickin' flies, and I wish I started earlier. Because now we're that year in, we have our framing in and everything, but it's getting winter time again, and I gotta start working with water lines and our heater, which would have been much better if it wasn't minus 30 outside. But I will say, with the lizard skin, all that thin slate insulation we put in, and our walls up, these little heater like this, and the second one like this, are keeping this van super toasty. So I don't foresee any issues if we have to test our water lines. We don't have to worry about anything freezing. Let's hope for the best. And as for our diesel heater that we started setting up, and the rest of it has to fit right into here, I have started troubleshooting it by laying it all out on our countertop and trying to figure out how the antifreeze comes from our tank through to our burner and then into the heat exchangers in which the coolant goes in, makes these heat exchangers hot, comes back out to the second one, because we're going to have our unfiltered shower water that comes up through the heater, down around, and gives us shower water. Then we'll have one that'll be filtered water that comes across under our floor to our heater, and then back across hot for our sink. And this is where our water comes in through the bottom valves, comes in cold, goes out hot. And then to add to the challenge of mounting all this stuff in place, we also have these mixing valves. So a mixing valve is so when your hot water comes out of these heat exchangers, it is so flipping hot, there's no way you'd be able to touch it. So it needs to go through a mixing valve, which you mix hot and cold water, and it comes out at the temperature you set it to through here. Now on these mixing valves, you can see there's no mount location to them at all. Like, it's not like you can just put a bolt in and it's in place. And you need to make it so it's solid enough that when you turn this, it's not moving and wiggling and end up wrecking lines or something. So I'm playing around right here trying to figure out how we're going to actually set that up. It's causing us a little bit of a delay. Then, if we turn this way, we're working on our second gray tank. Because as mentioned, we have two different water sources and each need an individual gray tank because they're on opposite sides of the vent. Now, although we've already built one tank, which is this tank right here that I'm really super impressed with, but you will see that this tank is completely different shape and size and everything, as well as the location it's going into, which is underneath the passenger side of the van. And you'll see is a lot shallower, right next to the exhaust pipe, and a completely different build. So I'm sitting here playing with this tank, trying to figure out how I'm going to get water into the tank from the sink, how I'm going to get water out of the tank once this is full, as well as how am I going to mount this with brackets, kind of similar to what we did before, but it's not going to work the same, I'll guarantee you that. And then also, if you come to this shelf, you'll see we have this piece here, which is built for our window frame in the rear windows of ROAMR that's going to fit in and give us a ledge all the way around our windows. And the blessing to this project was that my real father, who I haven't seen in absolutely years, came by for a visit, and he actually helped us play with this part of the project. In a few of our recent past videos, you might have noticed this blue tape that we had around this window. Well, that was because of this piece right here that we made to fit into the hole and left open, and it fits right into the window, so we have a nice window sill. The problem we're having is that we built this frame so rigid that it won't actually bend all the way in like it's supposed to get a flat seam. So it's another project that I'm working on in the background, because unfortunately, though it was a great thing he was here, he couldn't stay forever. But it is one of the things that I'm very, very grateful in the year 2020 that I was able to reconnect with him. So I'm going to ask you, maybe comment below. Let me know what you're thankful for in 2020. I know it's been a tough year, but we all need to look deep to find what we're thankful for. And while you're down there, maybe comment below, what are you asking Santa Claus for Christmas? Myself, I think I'm asking for a new camera, because Mr. Sony that you guys are staring through right now, it doesn't want to turn on, it doesn't want to charge, it doesn't want to download my videos to my computer, and I literally sit here for I bet you 10 or 15 minutes between each of these shots trying to get that stupid thing to turn on. The unfortunate part of that is, for a new camera for what we want is like $1,000. I just don't see Santa Claus bringing that for me, so I'm gonna have to continue working at my job as well as this. And to go along with that, I've made decals, my friends. So I got 2-inch round white background with black double D's. I got 2-inch round black background with white double D's. And then I have the transparent vinyls with the white double D's that say Darish Drives. And we're gonna put this into our Get a New Camera Fund. So we have a PayPal link down below. If you wanna go in there, $5 gets you 3. Any setup you want, 2 blacks, 1 white, or 3 transparents, whatever you want, in a combination of 3 for $5. So in the notes, just pick out the 3 you want and your shipping address, and I'll mail them out to you. Sound like a plan? All right, so with that being said, have a very Merry Christmas. And if you've made it this far, you haven't subscribed yet, maybe consider doing so. No pressure, of course, you do you. If you have subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe consider hitting that notification bell. And of course, as always, we will see you on the next video.
Perfect.